Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're breaking down Wednesday's joint practice between the Colts and the Arizona Cardinals. When two teams practice together, things can get intense, but the league has been stressing the importance of avoiding fights to keep everyone safe. We want things to be physical, but not too rough. The Colts played just like they have all training camp, strong and steady. On defense, the pass rush was on fire, and the run defense was solid, thanks to Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. Last season, our run defense struggled when Stewart was out, but with him back, it's been top-notch. We also saw Latu dominate, especially on a play where he broke through and caught Kyler Murray trying to scramble. Jalen Carley returned to action, and Julian Blackman grabbed an interception. Blackman and Kenny Moore have been the standouts in the secondary, even though there was a clip going around of Moore getting beat by Marvin Harrison Jr. That was just one play. Overall, Moore did a great job and wasn't targeted much. Blackman had a solid day, not just with the pick, but with a few other key plays, including a nice one against Zach Pascal. However, the secondary overall hasn't looked great. Juju Brents is back, but he's still not 100% healthy and didn't perform well. Nick Cross has been moving around the field, playing free safety, strong safety, and even some nickel. He managed to keep Marvin Harrison Jr. in front of him, which was a plus, but I'm still not confident in the secondary. They struggled against Denver, Kyler Murray in this practice, and I'm worried about how they'll hold up in the preseason and the regular season. I'm not sure why Chris Ballard is putting so much faith in the secondary. He's invested in players like Nick Cross, hoping they'll step up, but it hasn't fully worked out yet. Cross did have a decent game against Denver in the preseason, and we've got other guys like Jalen Jones, Ronnie Thomas, and Dallas Flowers, who also had an interception but struggled otherwise in practice. The secondary is a big concern for me, and I'm still puzzled as to why we haven't brought in someone like Justin Simmons. On the bright side, the rest of the team looked good. The offensive line wasn't amazing, but the receivers were on point, with Michael Pittman Jr. looking unstoppable. Adonai Mitchell made an impressive catch where he tracked the ball perfectly and went after it. Anthony Richardson was outstanding in this practice, moving the ball down the field with ease. He even connected with Anthony Gold for a 60-yard touchdown. Gold continues to exceed expectations. At first, I thought he would mainly contribute on special teams, but now it looks like he could play a significant role as a receiver and be a deep threat right from the start. He reminds me of Jalen Jones, who was a 7th-round pick expected to be a gunner, but ended up as our starting cornerback. Gold has the potential to be an important part of our offense, and it'll be interesting to see how he develops. He's about the same size as Josh Downs, so he could fit in the slot, but for now, we're using Adonai Mitchell there. And he's been fantastic. Mitchell has been reliable underneath, and also shown deep threat ability. As for the tight ends, there wasn't much to note. We're still waiting to see who will establish themselves as our top tight end. Right now, it looks like Kylan Granson is leading, with Mo Alie-Cox right behind him. Then we have Drew Ogletree, Will Mallory, and Jelani Woods. It's surprising to think Woods might not make the roster after showing so much potential in his rookie year, but he hasn't shown enough yet. We'll have to wait and see how he performs in the next 2 preseason games. Overall, those are my main takeaways from the practice. Looking ahead, I believe the Colts have a real shot at not just winning the AFC South but making a strong run in the AFC. The top seed in the conference might need 13 wins, and while it's a tough goal, I think our ceiling is 12. 5. Our floor is probably around 8 or 9 wins. I don't see us taking a step back this season. I'd say 9 wins feels realistic. I know Gardner Minshew has more experience than Anthony Richardson, but everyone in the locker room knows Richardson is our guy. Even though he was out for most of last season, he's always been seen as the franchise quarterback, not just because of where he was drafted, but because of his talent. With Richardson, the Colts are a much better team. I noticed that Anthony Richardson's mechanics were a bit off, but that's likely just him shaking off some rust. It's going to be important for him to get back into rhythm as we move forward. Looking at the rest of the depth chart, Kwity Paye and Tyquan Lewis are going to be crucial for us. They're our starters right now, with Loy Latu currently on the 2nd string. Latu is getting some first-team reps, and he really dominated against the Cardinals. We're easing him in because we don't want to rush things, especially since Lewis was so good for us last season. Kwity Paye also had an impressive 9.5 sacks, making our front line one of the best in football. This strong front line helps compensate for our weaker secondary, but it still worries me more every day. Once the season starts, we'll get a better idea of how the secondary holds up. If it struggles, we might need to have some serious discussions about making moves. I really don't want to go into games against quarterbacks like CJ Stroud and Jordan Love with a secondary that isn't NFL ready. The potential is there, but it's hard for me to see a scenario where Jalen Jones and Nick Cross both break out this season. I hope I'm wrong, though. I really do. Our linebackers, on the other hand, are looking good with EJ Speed and Zaire Franklin. Shauna Lou Carley adds depth to the second level, which is solid. Unfortunately, Daniel Scott got injured again in camp, which is a tough break because he could have been a big contributor. Ronnie Harrison Jr. and Ronnie Thomas are getting some reps, but I'm not sure what to expect from them just yet. Keep an eye on Mick Abraham. He had that incredible play where he ripped the ball out of an offensive player's hands and took it to the house. He was one of our highest graded players and the highest graded rookie in week 1 of the preseason.